Guys, and hello from Orlando, Florida. The NBA 2K League is on the road again, but this time it's for the final tournament of the regular season, and the most impactful one. The winner of the ticket will not only win over $90,000, but will also clinch the first playoff spot of the season. This time last season, Knicks Gaming found themselves near the bottom of the standings, but with a win at the ticket, they were able to ride that momentum and become NBA 2K League champions. So don't count anyone out, because really, anything could happen. Now this season, Knicks Gaming, Lakers, Pistons, and Heat are all teams in desperation mode. They need to win this tournament in order to make the playoffs. While teams like
the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks going up.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Warriors have a Western Conference contest on their hands as they prepare to defend home court here at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this broadcast of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. From the sideline, we'll have David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment.
Yo, what it do? What up, fool?
Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Doncic at the 3 and Dirk at the 4. J.J. Barea is out there with Hardaway. And it's Porzingis in at 7. Now, here's Doncic. Nowitzki gets a wide open look. Good on the three-point shot. Nowitzki's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. You know what, Greg? There may not be a more likable superstar in the NBA than Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, everyone loves Nowitzki.
And a large part of that is just Dirk plays the game with a smile on his face, it seems, at all times. His play style is one that is hard to root against, having so much skill in the body of a 7-footer. And it's one thing to be respected by everybody. It's another to be loved by everyone in that regard. And Dirk's, he's one of a kind.
And here's Barea after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. That one goes in.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. Might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
Green, no luck. The Mavericks have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. Here's Doncic. That one off the back iron and out.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Here's Berea. Nowitzki with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. And Doncic gets it to go.
But if my counting is right, they've made 4 of their first 5. That's good.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Rick Carlisle.
Well, Kevin, he stressed to his players that it's all about the extra pass tonight. He said we have a bunch of guys who can score. As long as we keep everyone involved, our best defense is a good offense. So let's see if they keep the rock moving tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, DA. And guys, what do you make of David's report putting a premium on offense right away?
I think it's a good plan as long as it doesn't come at the expense of their defense. They can't ignore that part of the game.
But I love the fact that there's no player ever in the history of this league that gets excited about a coach who talks about, we're really going to change up our defense and make sure that that's a priority. Guys are always excited about the O.
No good from Cousins. The Mavericks leading. Doncic passes to Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
And how about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult.
Curry looking it over. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
This is also one of those things where you start to think about how you're going to change your defense already, if at all possible. Make someone else beat you.
Here's Hardaway, following the basket by Stephen Curry. And Hardaway gets it to go. Hardaway has got his first points of the game. So many modern offenses no longer rely on a point guard to initiate the play. Tell us a little bit more. Walk us through that process.
I think a lot of teams, Kevin, are getting more towards motion offenses, almost playing in a secondary break where you've either coming off a score, you're coming down the floor, the point guard gets off the ball, and with all the players moving around and with the multifaceted skill set of your small forward and your power forward who's now playing at the point, distributing the ball, setting screens, DHO, because of that skill set, you don't really have the heavy reliance on point guard domination with the basketball, setting up every play, and being the only playmaker on the floor. Now you have 3 and sometimes 4 getting that job done.
Doncic, no good.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
They kick it out to Green. Curry against Berea. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, Steph Curry's quick release makes his three-point shot almost impossible, and then you add the fact that Steph can do it off the dribble. So anytime you get somebody shifting their back foot and they're trying to recover, by the time they're halfway there, the ball's already off and on its way. So one of the quickest, one of the more devastating shots in all of basketball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Kevon Looney is checked in for Cousins. Iguodala comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Livingston in for Thompson. Trey Burke's checked in for Doncic. Here's Burke. Nails the wide open jump shot. And Curry said in his training, he speeds up his release to the point where it's uncomfortable. So in the game, for him, everything slows down.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers, Kevin, his closely guarded three-pointers are just as accurate as when he's got a wide open three-pointer. No defender within 4 to 6 feet. He's knocking down the same kind of percentage. So the fact that Steph has the ability and knows to practice those sort of things speaks to just how much he's invested in the shooting craft.
Yep. One goes in there.
Well, the point guard's responsibility, and it's Curry in this instance, is to keep your teammates involved. Nice play.
And here's Burke, knocked loose. It's stolen by Curry. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Drops in the tray off the fast break. Curry's got a couple of threes now in the first for the Warriors. Burke looking over the floor. There's the triple, and the 3 ball is good. Burke's got 5.
back at you. That's payback for the three on the other end.
A little mano-a-mano there, entertaining, but you also want to keep your teammates involved.
And he trains the three, but let's see, they may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
Yeah, and at this point of the game, some might say, hey, can't we just skip the replay this time around? But you just never know.
And they're keeping the call as is. It was close, but he had not released it before the clock had expired.
Yeah, still better safe than sorry. I think they did the right thing to take another look at it. But if it's so close that you can't tell by the naked eye, might as well go to the slow-mo.
And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Mavericks lead by 2. And we'll be back right after this. Steph Curry talks about what makes Coach Steve Kerr so unique as they balance winning with the big picture.
He genuinely cares about what's going on in our lives and our families, and basketball-wise, I think he's really opened my eyes to the perspective of just how you run a team, but that life is obviously a lot bigger than basketball. Is a nice little, marriage of those two that you can enjoy along the way in the process of what we do.
That's a good way of putting it, isn't it? At the end of the day, life is bigger than basketball.
And Steve Kerr shows that. I mean, he cares about his players, his staff. Beyond that, he cares about the country and the world around him.
And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Such a great way to get yourself into an offensive groove and build up some early confidence.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And Golden State looking at who they got. Iguodala and Green, the duo at forward. Livingston is out there with Steph Curry. And it's Looney in at the 5. Dallas shooting 71% all in all in this one. They've been brilliant offensively. And that one's good. Burke.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
The success of the Warriors is truly built around their culture and their chemistry, and it really starts with Steph Curry. Even though a lot of people argue about Kevin Durant being their best player, their most important player has been Steph. Just a great, joyful approach to the game, and it rubs off on the entire organization.
Durant's checked in for Curry. The Mavericks shooting their first free throw of the game. Livingston with it. Outside, Green. There's the pass to Durant. Some nice passing by Golden State. That one drops for him.
Draymond Green's got to think right now, I'm going to take you inside, and I'm going to challenge you to stop me. I don't get a lot of these possessions, but when I do, I'm going to try to get some points on the board.
Here's Brunson. He's covered by Livingston. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
The Warriors making a switch here. Cousins is checked in. Zingas, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Doncic comes in for Burke. Here's Cousins. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala.
There's a lot of great things to say about DeMarcus Cousins' offensive game, but I know defenders fear the most when he's down low and picks an angle to attack you like that in the paint.
He has a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
He never backs down. Thanks, David. Durant for three. Another three for Golden State.
Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
Here's Brunson. The teardrop falls in. Brunson's got 12.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Dallas gets called for the foul.
Well, Kevin Durant, he cares. He cares about winning. He cares about his teammates. He cares about how they go about their business. And he puts the work in. So since leaving OKC and all the criticism and all the outside chatter, Kevin Durant has been the best player on the best team in the biggest moments, winning 2 finals MVPs.
Dallas calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And for Durant to absorb so much animosity, especially in Oklahoma City, it really pained him.
Well, of course, you don't like it when people are talking negatively about you, but the one thing about going to Golden State and being around that environment, I think Kevin Durant felt safe around the construct and culture of what the Warriors were about. And then for Kevin, obviously, the best thing to do is go out and play and let your play do the talking. He's certainly done that, and he's done it loudly.
Here's Porzingis and another basket for Dallas.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
That's one of the game's greatest three-point shooters, so don't be shocked.
Dallas has gotten off 4 shots from three-point range tonight and buried every one of them. Passes it to Nowitzki. And Porzingis gets it to go on the assist by Nowitzki. And that's 13 points for Porzingis. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. Brent, do you think individual defense is getting easier to measure with player tracking and advanced stats?
I don't. I think it's impossible for you to find some legitimate measurement of how much a player is truly impacting the game defensively. I think there's great indicators of combinations of players that are on the floor at the same time, that are working collectively and doing something to shut down another team's best offensive unit. But individually, it's so hard to just put a number on what a guy is doing in terms of his total impact defensively.
So the eye test is not out of style.
I don't think so. I think we're getting better at the defensive metrics that are being used, Kevin, and I think that clearly we can see with some of the best wing defenders in the league, a Robertson, a Covington, that they're able to control their man, a Kawhi Leonard, they're able to impact the game defensively. But how are we quantifying that? We need to get better with it.
Out to the right wing. Thompson from long range. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. And it's 6 points for Klay Thompson. Dallas has gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Here's Barea. Green with the block.
I like the extension there from Draymond Green, reaching out and timing that one.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Barea against Curry. It's number 9 to fall. He's only taken 10 shots.
Well, he hasn't missed yet, guys, and the defense is scrambling for answers to stop this hot start.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Barea kicks to Nowitzki. Porzingis, he just cannot miss. 8 up, 8 in. Flawless.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Curry finds Thompson. And here is Green. Outside Durant. Here's Curry with the 3. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
What a way to end the half.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, Hoop fans. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He ended up with 28 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
And that'll do it for
As we return to the action here at Oracle, a terrific look from above at downtown Oakland and the historic Tribune Tower. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
Yeah, good things happen when you maintain composure. Their shot selection has been extremely disciplined.
And Greg, is there a shot that he's taken that has been out of the flow of the offense? I don't think so.
Here's who Rick Carlisle starting the second half with. Doncic at the 3 and Dirk at the 4. J.J. Barea is out there with Hardaway. And it's Porzingis in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Barea against Durant, stolen by Thompson. Golden State moving the ball around. Curry, good.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond. Well, Steph Curry, widely regarded as the best shooter in the history of the game. He's been so successful playing point guard in the NBA at times. I think we forget that he transitioned from playing shooting guard in his younger days.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that.
One thing that's quietly understated about Steph Curry is that competitive fire to keep pushing the envelope. Even though he's set these high marks and these high bars, he wants to see if he can eclipse some of the marks that he set in the early part of his career.
That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Barea.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
It's good. And that's now 35 points for Steph Curry.
He keeps finding great shots out there, and the opportunities are turning up roses.
Dallas calls timeout. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
Not sure what the defense is thinking, or if they are. They continue to let him shoot. That is bad defense.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Moody's checked in for Draymond Green. And it's Iguodala in for Durant. Powell, he's checked in for Dallas. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. Out to the wing. Thompson for 3. That one falls. Coming off Iguodala's feet. And now it's a 9-point Warrior lead. Curry against Barea. Outside, Porzingis. Back to Barea. Makes it off the glass. Barea's got 4 this quarter.
Come on, though. You
And they're
feel about
beginning
that.
to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Curry gets the bucket.
And until someone stops him, he's just going to continue to keep firing from distance.
Yeah, we got to be at DEFCON 1 here, because at this point, he is so dialed in. You got to get him off his spots.
Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Barea.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Here's Curry with the 3, and another 3 for Golden State.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
Barea kicks to Doncic. Clock at 6. Fires at the elbow. And another basket for Dallas.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half.
They are rolling.
Correa against Curry. Pass to Iguodala. Cousins against Porzingis. Here's Looney, still looking for his first bucket in this one. Basket good. Thompson's got the lead up to 11 now for the Warriors.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Hardaway dishes to Barea. Back to Hardaway. And they pick up 2.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. The Warriors' Steve Kerr, the fastest coach in major American sports history to 250 wins. Brent, he gave all the credit to his players. But you talk about what makes him special.
Well, I think Steve just really timed it right in terms of when it was he was going to approach the next phase of his life, waiting for his children to be in a good place, waiting for him mentally to be in a spot where he was going to take over a talented team and put his imprint on it. His experience in Phoenix in the front office, teaching him about what it takes to move players around and make trades. Just a proper approach and the proper timing for Steve to take over a basketball club, and then to bring all of what he learned from Greg Popovich and Phil Jackson to the table, along with a lot of his own. And I think Steve thought long and hard and prepared himself on a lot of levels about what the job was going to be for him. We've seen that play out rather nicely in the last few years.
A finish, and it's Thompson with the jam.
Cousins continuing to improve on his defensive awareness and staying active after he clawed away that steal.
Now here's Burke. He's covered by Thompson. Burke, the pass to Brunson. Lets it go with a 3. 6 for 6. He's yet to miss from the field.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for his team. I mean, he's had a very efficient offensive performance.
No doubt, without these contributions, they'd be in a much deeper hole in this one, no question.
Thompson with the bucket.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Mavericks trail by 10. Now here's Burke. He's got 8. Pass to Brunson. Fires the 3. It's good for the 7th time this game. He's shot 7. He has made 7.
Oh, little punch, counter punch action. Neither side flinching here.
Yeah, both sides trying to keep up with one another, but doing it from distance.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game. And Cousins gets it to go.
They haven't relied on him as much as usual, but when his number has been called, he shot well enough to help them earn the lead.
And the rejection by Cousins.
So important for Cousins to continue to develop that defensive awareness. I like to see him showing off some of that shot blocking ability.
Well, we thought the third quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
Yeah, it's hard to tell on that one. And so a good time to go to the replay and just to make sure if he got it off on time.
And it looks like they got it right this time. No basket. The clock had expired while the ball was still in his hand.
And even if they don't show it, I know the refs are proud of themselves after a replay proves them right. They're like, see, we had it right all along. So good call, fellas.
And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. Warriors ahead. They lead by 9. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Down low, it's Green and Cousins. Thompson and Durant fill out the perimeter. And it's Curry in at the 1 spot. That's the Warriors 5. Powell finds Barea. Back to Powell. Draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
Now Curry. Outside Durant. Kicks it to Cousins. From deep, Green. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Cousins has got 4 assists in the game. Mavericks trail by 9. To the right side. And Doncic hits it to go.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Durant and the Warriors tack on 2 more.
Well, for a tall guy, Durant has such dexterity and rhythm on the catch and shoot. It's just interesting to watch.
Thompson against Barea. Down low and stolen by Cousins. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. Got that bucket in no time at all. And now it's an 11-point Warrior lead. Dallas calls timeout.
And of course, we know about DeMarcus Cousins last season and the torn Achilles. I'm just glad to see him back out on the floor and fully recovered. He's put in a lot of work in terms of rehab and make sure that he can get back to doing what he does best.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. He was not happy with their defensive performance. He said they're getting everything they want. We've got to show them we can't let that happen. You have to make a stand. You have to get some stops, and that'll get us going on a run, guys.
And with Cousins and that injury, never an easy one to come back from.
Yeah, it's true. But fortunately, Cousins has the kind of skill set that he's going to be effective no matter when he's on the floor. And great outside shot, the footwork, very smooth in terms of ball handling for that position. And most of the players who aren't the same after the Achilles tear don't have the same skill set that Cousins possesses. That's why I think he'll be fine once he recovers from this injury.
Shot clock at 6. Nowitzki for 3. Another 3 for Dallas.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
Yeah, that's a nice response there, leaving a voicemail in return from the 3-point line. Looks like we're seeing similar game plans right now.
Here's Curry. Again, Golden State.
It's just hard to believe that someone can perform at such a high level. They've got to thank him for this lead.
Barea looking for an opening. Inside and stolen by Cousins. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Here's Tariq.
And using all of his 7'5" wingspan, Durant turns backwards.
And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Habit, unleashing a little bit of chaos. Here's Barea. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, it's one of those nights where if a team down the stretch can get 1 or 2 stops, they may win it.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
Now, I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Durant kicks to Curry. The pass to Green. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one.
How about Draymond rising up into the contact? He's a good offensive player who finds his way this time to get to the free throw line.
He doesn't get the second one. Mavericks trail by 10. Barea kicks to Porzingis. to Berea. Dallas moving the ball around. And here we go. Floats it up for Curry. Boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
So
My man on the goal.
block there. You can live with those calls. Because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
To the paint. Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Dirk Nowitzki.
You cannot give players that kind of positioning and the defense also late in trying to alter that shot.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher. And DeMarcus Cousins, one of the few players in the NBA who can just simply dominate Brent a game with his size and skill.
Yeah, I think there are ways he could actually do that even more so, where he could just be more of a force throughout the course of any game. And I remember last season he put up that huge 40-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist game, just a monster game. That's the first stat line with those kind of numbers in the NBA in the last 50 years.
Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 12 on the basket from Dirk Nowitzki. And here's Curry, who brings it up for Golden State. Here's Cousins. Oh.
Well, how about that from the big man, showing a little something special. Tremendous at getting up off the ground and finishing with style.
1:46 left in the fourth quarter. Berea kicks to Porzingis, shoots over Cousins, and it's Porzingis that time on the assist by Berea. Berea's got his 7th assist in the game.
That's just poor communication between those two. The passer has to make sure his teammate is established, and the teammate has to know the pass is coming. See, that's communication.
Mavericks trail by 12, and Hardaway gets it to go.
At 7-3, Porzingis with no trouble seeing over the defense. Excellent pass and a very unselfish play.
Curry way outside. Another three for Golden State.
Oh, that's a real nice looking deep three ball there.
Berea kicks to Porzingis and stolen by Cousins. Bobbed up there for Green. And the turnover again by Golden State.
Yeah, that's a disappointing sequence of plays. Absolutely inexcusable turning the ball over like that.
And here's Berea. Passes it to Porzingis. 1:03 left in the fourth quarter. The fadeaway, and the Mavericks getting another bucket right there.
And finally getting their stride. This is the run they needed earlier.
Well, easier to do once the game is on ice, as your opponent sometimes has a tendency to relax.
Gets it down to single digits.
Just a super unselfish guy. Doncic is all for getting his guys going. Enjoys setting the table.
Hardaway with a wide open look. Another three for Dallas.
That is a gutsy shot from Hardaway, and he comes through.
Here's Curry. And good. There's another.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. And the Mavericks call time here. They're behind by 8. There's 37 seconds left in the game. What's your take, guys?
And I'm sure the coach is telling them it ain't over till it's over. But I don't know.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Stephen Curry.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man. show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
And with the playoffs on the horizon, he'll be looking to stay in peak form as long as he can. And so they foul intentionally. And some changes here for the Warriors. Cousins comes in for Kevon Looney. And Steph Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. And that's an intentional foul. It's the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
And that will add to a healthy lead after that trip to the free throw line.
Gets the 3 to fall.
Love his shot selection. Good at taking quality shots. Whether he's defended or open, he knows how to knock those down.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
Dallas calls timeout. They're trailing by 6. 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Definitely. Everything has to happen perfectly just to give them a chance.
Here's Doncic. Good. And now. Now they trail by just 4.
Incredible. Doncic decides he wants to take over, and that's his personality. He comes up with the goods on that one.
A 3 off the inbound. It's in! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Oh, shocking there. That one's amazing.
Well, you play your heart out all night long, and then just 1 or 2 shots at the end decide the outcome.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
That last one was a difference maker. It pushed it from a 2-point lead to 3.
And a chance here to send it to overtime.
Got to get a 3. That's the only thing that's going to do it.
To tie it up. Count it! Oh, that was an enormous 3-pointer.
And love how much Doncic believes in himself. It shows when he shoots off the pass like that.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call its timeout. Curry with it. And the win. Good from beyond the arc. What a shot. But they may take a second to look at. Boy, that was close. And the officials are headed to the scores table to review it. Let's see what happens here. It'll be on overtime. The original ruling of no basket is confirmed.
Yeah, that's a tough call there with the
Let it go.
Fortunately, the league's replay center are able to slow it down, zoom in, and check all.
They count. They count.
And they're going to count it. After looking at the replay, they ruled that he got the shot off in time. GA, they won it on the buzzer beater.
You talk about winning it at the very last second. What a finish. Thankfully, the replay gets the officials off the hook on what would have been an awful call to miss.
So it's a narrow victory for the Warriors, pulling out the W. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
For Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
Baby, I'm gon' leave. Don't you leave. Cause I need you by my side. I'm like, baby, don't you leave. Cause I need you and me forever, right? You told me, baby, I'm gon' leave. Don't you leave. Cause I need you by my side. I'm like, baby, don't you leave. Cause I need you and me forever, right? Baby, would you mind if I cry right now? I'm hurting. If I slip down and fell, would you still be around and nurse me? Would you be my doctor? Be there to give me my med? Would you still be on side me? When I wake up in the bed. You got a smile that I wanna keep around for life. We go up, we go down, but forever we tight. It's like a roller coaster, everything go round and round. No relationship perfect, it got its ups and downs. That's why I need you. But do you need me? Baby, I need you. Cause you complete me. So baby, I'm gon' leave. Don't you leave. Cause I need you by my side. I'm like, baby, don't you leave. Cause I need you and me forever, right? She told me, baby, I'm gon' leave. Don't you leave. Cause I need you by my side. I'm like, baby, don't you leave. Cause I need you and me forever, right? I'm like, baby, would you mind if I cry right now? I'm hurting. I'm hurting. I've got an idea. Ooh, what is it? What if we give the people iPhone XR when they join T-Mobile?
For a limited time, join T-Mobile and get the awesome iPhone XR on us.
Gotta go get my weed done into this shit right here. Fuck that nigga, I ain't the one for you. You don't supply my needs. All you do is waste my time. You don't even support my grind. You don't even make no sense.
Yeah.
Woman still less time. But you
Yeah.
so fucking cheap, bitch. You don't even know what you got to another
Yeah.
bitch. Can't even find a piece. These hoes watching me. I can even go to sleep. Nigga keep texting me how loyal
Okay,
he
okay,
is
that's
me to
enough,
me.
that's enough.
He got on his knees, gave me head like Jesus, please. You don't even fuck.
Let me get it started. Beat me with the Robins, looking all retarded. BB sagging, fly like a dragon. Bitches on my dick, till I fly like Aladdin. These bitches think I'm stupid. Dummy boys fall in love with it. He's stupid. All these hoes on my body, stop the bullshit. All these hoes, they ain't loyal. Y'all looking stupid. I just left Starlets and I ain't even cash out. Back up, freak in the trap. I'm gon' back out. Pull the tracks out. Gotta run it like it's track now. Like a smackdown. Rock bottom, I'm gon' pin it down. Hold on. Let me get it started. Beat me with the Robins, looking all retarded. BB sagging, fly like a dragon. Bitches on my dick, cause I fly like Aladdin. Bullshit me, pull up to the grippy, Licky, licky on my pinky, Take a flicky, make a movie with me, Take a flicky, make a real trippy, Why you watching me? You all on my IG. Why you so seen this shit. Went to the east side, spanked out Juju. Lucky I ain't had it on me. I was gonna shoot you. Spit them on camera, do it on YouTube. Stupid little dumb nigga, now you on YouTube. If a nigga want beef, I'm gonna touch a dragon. Shoot you while you with your bitch, then it's back to back in. Police pull up on me, I don't know what happened. Police pull up on you, you gon' get the yapping. We gon' get the clapping, we on static, semi-automatic. They gon' get the clapping, we in with the chatting. You know niggas capping, if they catch you lacking, turn you into has-been. Ran through lust, 100 bands up. Shout out Spin King, that's my motherfucking blood. Go, 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 Muliani. Go, go, Muliani. Pull up to the party, licky, licky, licky on my booty, take a flicky, make a movie with me, take a flicky, make a real trippy, why you watching me? You all on my IG. Why you stalking me? You don't even follow me. Why you tweet my shit? You ain't used to read my shit. Bitch, you used to fucking leave me on scene and shit.
Yeah.
Private number, call my phone, say that I'ma kill you. I told that nigga I ain't had no problem in your city. I keep it with me, pull up on me and shit gon' get wicked. All this shit these niggas doing, I swear that I don't feel them. 11,000 around my nigga, that just up and change. 10 bands up in my pocket, fresh up out the bank. You ain't my round pussy nigga, you don't feel my pain. This shit I spit on track straight facts, it ain't a fucking game. It ain't a song that I write, I don't think about Dave. I walk on stage, 1,000 people screaming my name. He probably think I owe him something, I don't owe him a dime. Bitch, you gon' make me show you something, you go against the grain. Send my niggas to bust you up, since you think that I'm playing. One night we hit two back to back, like nigga, what you gon' saying? I cut the bell, make it short, got that from across the track. Catch you slipping down bad and we gon' bust your ass. My OG say cause you a shoot, that don't make you a man. It's how you play your hand and react when you in that jam. This for my niggas dead and gone, and the ones in the camp. I'ma forever hold it down, forever take a stand. You say you looking for me, nigga, I ain't hiding about it. Drop them nuts and play with me, get touched. I been fat on my mama, all us about the drama. Bitch, like a nine about it. Rippin' like you stuck, you really spun. These niggas lying around top for whoever want it. You know how we coming, run up on you, put this bitch up on you, put this bitch up on you. She get gutter, gotta step on it. Never know how to get you better at your own man. Wake up every morning trying to get $1. When you down and ain't got nothing, they ain't got no holler. Gotta get this shit from my little boy, gotta get it from my mama. You better not shut me out my money, I want every dollar. Or else I'ma bust your fucking head, cause I don't play that. We gon' load up with them cutters, we gon' swerve where you stay at. Can't keep hitting the block like this, you boy, too many people on that. I don't give a motherfucking stop until I get my shit back, believe that. Niggas say spin again when the sun down. All night we gon' wait till he come out. See his ass hop up on the block out. What it is, this is a man down. One from I was talking, never stand down. One for young spit, believe me, coming back round. First they go with the sound. First they go with the sound. You say you looking for me, nigga, I ain't play with me, get touched. Been fat on my mind, all about the drama. Bitch, like a nine about it. Rippin' like you step, you really spend. These niggas lying around chopper for whoever want it. You know how we coming, run up on you, put this bitch up on you, put this bitch up on you. Shit get gutter, gotta step on it. Never know how to get you better at your own man.
I shot to the top just like I'm a rocket. I ain't have a dollar inside of my pocket. Put that on my gang, I swear I ain't stopping. I'm strapped up and I'm pissed up. I'm an astronaut kid. They say pain like meteorite. I got the world in my eyes. Chosen one, I got the pride. I got my niggas on my side. Feel like I need some space. I'm putting on 8 in space. Lot of blue money in the bank. Oh, honey's in the cake. I'm in the happy chase. On the way, I can't be late. Come take, let's do a race. Hope I see you another day. Sip like that's every day. Gave a check to KK. You know I love you. I was talking to Tay. Whenever you call me, you know that I'm coming. Get the baby, let me stack up that money. Over that chopper, you know I'm a dummy. I won't let a nigga say that crime. WOC, get stay on my arm. Wanna go that I won't say nothing. Sex with my baby mama. Spend that to my girl nice. Spent a $500,000 and I ain't go forget. Spent $80,000 on a brand new fit.
Baby boy. He gave me. Nigga, that's Jimmy. Yeah, 18. Oh, wait, yeah. Ooh, hello. Halo. Oh my god. Halo. Ada. Ada yang manfaat. Tuh, ke. I'm looking for over an hour now. Gotta be for over an hour. Yeah, we know. Yeah, could have it. Give me. I could have had him. I could. I can't do that. I can. Oh, I had them. I got him. He down. I got him. Okay, dude, got two guys. I'm getting over I do it for the fan and the money. People get me, every day. I really been giving everybody. Like I be giving everybody. I give everybody. I go gone. If you would never come down, I would never come. If you would never come down. Whoa, go both of them. Hey, you can kill. But I'm not kill. Kill. Okay, now that number Kevin right there. I got Kevin kill. Hold on. We having a little couple of different calls. Y'all niggas didn't hear that. And that conclude the game. I'm out. P. Hold on. Let me.
I'ma
Let me
take you
take
to
you
the
to the
bed.
bed.
Suck on your plate like a tigger. Let her come suck on his dick. I don't give a fuck what they say.
Yo, I'm gone. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, I don't know what time. I don't know. But like, comment, subscribe. Give me a 50K. 50K like. 50K subscribe.